Hey y'all, hey y'all. I didn't speak to you, Henry. I apologize. Thank you for having us. And I'm from Texas. I'm a spoken word artist from Texas. Born and raised in Corpus Christi, Texas, and I live in El Paso now. I've been in El Paso for 4 years, which is where my poetic career took off. And yeah, man, I have two published works of poetry, as well as working on some spoken word singles. And I'm part of the Grapevine as well as a few other platforms. The Word is Right and B1 here in El Paso, Texas. And I'm looking into starting my own nonprofit CPR to My Dreams LLC, which would be for at-risk kids, kids with incarcerated parents, and giving poetry and arts to them, as well as making spaces for incarcerated voices. That's my passion. Just giving the pen to people and letting them letting it do for them what it did for me. Amen. So yes.
Absolutely. That's beautiful. That's beautiful to have such a passion like that. Um, that's my kind of passion. Um, so now we're on to you, Sean D. Tell us a bit about yourself.
So I am a poet from Staten Island, New York, spoken word artist. And I've been doing this for and I am also the host for your Therapeutic Thursdays at the Grapevinesway. Um, and so I basically just really write about my life, my truth, um, the dealings I had with my mom because I'm a caretaker for her. She is suffering from Alzheimer's. And so a lot of that is depicted in my poetry as well. That's about
Mm,
it.
yes, that's and kudos to you for taking care of your mom. You know, because I do the same thing, um, exact same thing, but also to other people as well. So I commend you on that. So now we're off to you, Tequila Sway. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Hey, good evening, everybody. So I am Tequila Sway Cheatham. Got to give my last name because I represent that. I am from Miami, Florida. I moved to the DMV area 15, 16 years ago. So this is home for me now. Um, I'm all about self-improvement, self-enhancement. Some of the things I'm passionate about. Um, Sorry, it's this helicopter going over my going over my head right now. It's distracting me. I live in between the Air Force Base and the airport. The beauty of living in the DMV. Uh, anyway, as it passes over. So I've been living in the DMV for about 15 years now. Um, and I kind of made it home. It's my home. And while I've been here, I've been really passionate about meeting different people, learning how to connect and network with people, and learning how we can build together. And because of that, I learned that communication is really important. So I stress that a lot, along with focusing on how to go after your dreams. Some of the projects that I'm passionate about is the same as Sean D. My family suffers from dementia and Alzheimer's as well. I actually lost my grandfather, the patriarch of my family, last year because of it. So that is one of the causes, but also just I like the elderly. I feel like they are the true storytellers of our time.
Yeah,
Although we are all writers, they are the true storytellers, and I learned so much from them. So those are the things that I'm passionate about, as well as I have an uncle who's been in prison since I was 10 years old. So I definitely understand the idea of prison reform and all of those things too. So me and my ladies have a lot in common. We overlap in so many different ways. So that's who I am and that's what I'm about. And I also have a son who I love so much and am learning through him what life really is about. So that's me.
that is you. That's a lot of you. Thank you for sharing. So now we're off to Veronica J. Tell us a bit about yourself, Veronica.
Oh, what's up, everybody? I am poor Veronica J. I live in New York State. I was born and raised in Buffalo, New York, where I currently reside. I am a poet and spoken word artist. I've been writing poetry since I was a kid, but it's only recently, in the last 5 years or so, that I really got focused on performing that poetry. It's not always easy to get started, get in front of people, and express yourself, but once you get started, you just get sucked into it. You enjoy it. It's just an adrenaline rush to just get up in front of people and tell your truth. Spit your words. Um, I actually have a book right now that I'm published in. I have two pieces in this book. It's Marissa Prada's women's and erotic anthology. Actually, it's called Touching Tongues. And I'm also working on my own book, and that book is going to arrive next year. So I'm pretty proud of that. It was pretty awesome to have the opportunity to get published before my own book came out. So, but if I've learned anything in the past year, it's that anything is possible, and there are no limits to what you can do. Um, I am focused right now on getting things started here in Buffalo, more of a focus on spoken word here. I mean, there are venues, but not not the way that I'm seeing it. I'm actually trying to get something started right now as we speak to have a dedicated venue for spoken word artists to express themselves with a focus on erotica, but the freedom to express themselves any kind of way that they want to. Um, I myself, just from my own experiences, I just want to empower women. That's really my focus. Is just doing whatever that I can to um, get women to just be out there with themselves and not, be free and not afraid to be who they are, because it's not always easy in this world. I mean, there is a double standard. I mean, it's okay when, for some people to be out there, for some people to say whatever they want to say, but when it comes to women, sometimes it's frowned upon. And I just want to encourage women out there that you can express yourself. Whatever it is that you want to talk about, you can do that, and to have the courage to just to come out and do so. I also want to focus on working with the youth. I was a part of a youth coalition when I was younger, and it was just so fulfilling just to kind of be a mentor for them. And I kind of want to get back to that. So those are the things that I'm working on right now.
Okay, that's powerful. I love it. I love how all of you are doing great things, and especially when it comes to women, because you are right. There is a double standard, but that's the That's the powerful thing about being a creative writer. See, we can change the narrative with our words.
No doubt.
If that's how we choose to write, right? So I always say write with purpose on purpose. You know, words are powerful and we have to let it be known through our words, through our writing. And I have no doubt that you four together, you're gonna most definitely make an impact on that change that we all desire to see in this world. So I'm gonna get right off into the questions. And the first question is, and it's to Rasafire, how long have you been writing creatively?
I was 8 or 9 when yeah, I was around 8 or 9. Yes, period. No, but yes, I was eight
You're
or
not.
9.
Okay, okay. that's okay. So the same question to you, Shandi. How long have you been writing creatively? Can't hear you, Sean. Your mic is muted.
Hang on.
There you
Since
go.
I was 10 years old.
10.
10
Look
years
at that.
old. I've been
8.
writing.
So now, Tequila Sway, same question to you. How long have you been writing creative?
So I've been writing creatively since I was 7. I used to get in a lot of
7.
trouble for my creative writing.
That is something. That is something. How y'all all around in the same age bracket. So, Veronica, same question to you. How long have you been writing creative?
About, it's got to be between 10 and 12, around in that general vicinity.
That is something. That is something. So y'all were born to write. Literally. Because I cannot say that. I start writing at about 25. So
Whoa.
I didn't even want to be a writer. But you know, man plans, but God is the best of planners. So
And look at you now.
yeah. Look, interviewing awesome writers like you. Isn't that profound? Isn't that profound? So we on question 2. And the question goes to Rasafire. So what do you regard as your strengths? In what areas do you feel you need to improve on?
My strengths are the people. I have a way with people. My week, what I need to improve on is planning and being punctual.
Wow, that right there. See, to recognize something is when you can begin to rectify it. That right there. That is powerful. That is powerful. So the same question goes to you, Sean D. What do you regard as your strength? And what areas do you feel you need to improve on?
Well, I would say I probably need to, my strengths would be being able to coordinate stuff, things, being able to run projects, being able to get people together and get stuff done. My weaknesses would be like just pretty much overdoing stuff. And then, you know, I'm totally exhausted and totally spent. So I don't give myself enough time back.
Yes, yes. See, these questions are not random or coincidental. These are specific questions, and I put them together so that you can have something to ponder upon once this is said and done, right? And as you can see, look, I use words specifically. I'm like a wordologist. I didn't use that word weakness. I had it, but I was like, no, this is not the word, right? Because there's nothing weak about any of us, right? That's why I said improve upon, right? And knowing is half the battle won. When we know, now we can properly prepare to deal with the situation and change it accordingly. So, yes. So the same question applies to you, Tequila Sway. What do you regard as your strengths, and what areas do you feel you need to improve upon?
Ooh, this is a good one, Henry. Um, well, I would say my strength is being a leader. I've been that my entire life, naturally, um, and forcefully, being the oldest child. Um, my weakness or weaknesses, I will give you a couple of them, which I don't normally do. My weakness would be one of the weaknesses would be um, I'm really straightforward, and sometimes I could be a little insensitive because I'm straight to the point. The second thing would be love. I'm a bit I'm a love advocate, and sometimes I put myself in situations that I shouldn't be in because of love. So I would say those two things are my weaknesses.
Okay. And last but most definitely not least, Veronica J. What do you regard as your strengths, and what do you feel you need to improve upon?
I would say strength wise, is my ability to deal with difficult situations, learn from those situations and adapt. Um, it's been a lot of situations that I've gone through that have had a um, immense impact on me personally, and in a lot of those instances, I did not think that I would be able to get past that. But I do seem to have this ability to take it in and become better because of it, or in spite of it, I guess you could say. But on the flip side, it's kind of interesting. It's almost like a symbiotic kind of relationship, because my weakness is the fact that I second guess myself a lot. And I don't give myself enough credit. Like, I will literally, well, I'm learning. So at this point I'm getting better, but there was a time when I would just talk myself out of blessings because I didn't think I was worthy of them. And that was definitely a weakness, and it's an ongoing thing that I'm working on to improve.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that you making forward motion on that. Because second guessing our first mind is what a lot of us do. We feel this feeling. We feel it. It feels so right, but we like it can't be right for us. And it was. But those are those enlightening moments that we should never forget, because that's what they're all about. They're trying to teach us something. They're trying to show us something. They're showing us to stop second guessing our first mind, right? You're gonna get it. I have no doubt about that. So we're on the third question, and it's to Rasafaya. I love saying that name, Rasafaya. So, what creative writing suggestions would you offer a would-be writer?
The rule of three. Learn that. Keep that in your pocket. Um, and to say the things that you're not sure if you should say. That's what you need to say. And one more thing I would say is, well, so that's authenticity. Um, be brave. Be brave. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, uh, being able to write is a blessing for so many people because for whatever reason, their voice is silenced. On a lot of occasions, people silence their own voice. It's no one silencing it. They silence it because they feel that what they had to say, no one is going to be interested in hearing it, so on and so forth. Um, so it takes a certain kind of courage to speak what you have written. And the more we do it, right? The more we do it and share it, we inspire others to do likewise. So I'm in agreement with you on that. Be brave. You know, your voice matters always and forever. So the same question to you, Sean D. What creative writing suggestions would you offer a would-be writer?
I would say allow the words, allow your spirit to write the piece. A lot of times we fret with ourselves with, especially when we're writing to prompts and things like that. And sometimes you just have to let the piece write itself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as opposed to you trying to fit it into a particular box. Sometimes
Yes.
you just have to let it breathe on its own and become whatever it is, whatever it may be. And so that would definitely be one of my creative writing suggestions. And then the other thing is to just be able to release, and trust yourself in that release. So a lot of times we're worried about how other people are going to be affected by the piece we write, or how they may feel about it. And I think we have to write from a perspective of, this is my truth. I'm going to release it at whatever cost.
Yes. I concur with you 100%. 100%. So Tequila Sway, same question to you. What creative writing suggestions would you offer a would-be writer?
There are a couple of things I would suggest, but we won't go to the whole thing because being a former English major, they make you, dish out everything that you feel about writing. But one of the things that I would say, just from the past year, is just be authentic. Just be yourself. Like, put it out there. And I think that's like one of the most hardest things for poets or writers to do. And I can speak for myself. I kept my writing at a superficial level because I didn't want people to get in. I didn't want people to get into what my heart was, what my experiences were. I didn't want to throw people under the bus, but your experience is your experience. So just being yourself helps your writing to just project whatever message you need to project. That's the first thing. Be authentic. The second thing is um, not being afraid to be vulnerable. Um, I think sometimes we're afraid to be vulnerable because we don't know how it will be perceived. So we
Yes.
prefer to just be politically correct, instead of just being human. instead of just vibrating with the earth, instead of just being, we prefer to be in these constructs, these confinements, when writing is just writing. We make it so complicated, so those are the those are the main two things that I would say. Be authentic and be willing to be vulnerable. I'll put it that way.
Yes. Yes. Hey, that last one is very difficult, right? And I'm speaking for myself, right? Very, very difficult. Um, but when you do that though, it's so freeing though. When you do it, it's so freeing. I mean, it's like you got something heavy on your shoulders.
Yeah.
And when you get it off, it's like you just feel so light, like you about to float away, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
Agreed.
so Veronica, same question. What creative writing suggestions would you offer a would-be writer?
Whew. There's a few things. Embrace the fear is the first thing I would say. If it scares you, do it. A lot of times we, like you were just saying, you need to get things out. A lot of times we're just holding on to things, suppressing things, and walking around thinking that we're okay. And we need that outlet. So if you can get that out in your writing, then that's something that you need to do. It's therapy. So definitely embrace the fear. Second, let your true self out. Don't sit there and try to be what you think everybody thinks you should be. Don't just say, okay, I'm just gonna do this kind. I'm just gonna say this, and I'm not gonna say that, because then you're stifling yourself. You're stifling your growth, and you're not being honest about who you are. So I would say just let your true self out so that people can see you for you and accept you or not accept you. It's their choice, really, whatever they want to do with it.
Absolutely.
But for you, you need to be true to yourself instead of trying to put yourself in a box and be what other people think you should be. And third, don't listen to other people's negative opinions of your writing. Okay. If you feel inside that you are a writer, continue to write. It's a journey, it's a process. None of us started off writing these bomb pieces. Okay. Some of us started off just trying to make words rhyme. Okay. That's how we got started. And it went from there. So never let those negative people tell you that you can't do it. If you feel inside that you are a writer, then continue to hone your craft. Don't let that inside noise or that outside noise in, because a lot of times, misery loves company a lot of times, and people will project that negativity onto you because they see your growth, your potential. And because they're not doing what they need to do and they're not walking in their truth or purpose, then they want to keep you from doing it so that y'all can just sit there together and do nothing. So go ahead and keep writing and keep honing your craft, and do not listen to the outside negativity. And that would be my advice.
Absolutely. And that's great advice. All four of you gave great advice. Great advice. I tell a lot of writers, writing is therapeutic. It's a cliche, but it's also a truth, right? And I tell people, I say, if you're going through something, right, everything doesn't need to be shared, and it's not meant to be shared. But if you're going through something, you got this on you, right? Type it out, write it out, and then delete it or burn it. It's a psychological exercise, right? But when you see that whatever it is that you was going through, you see it before you, right? And then you see also yourself deleting it or burning it. It's a psychological thing, like it doesn't exist no more. It's gone, right?
Exactly.
And if you keep doing that, right, all that heaviness, you'll become so light, right? Then you freeing yourself so you can write whatever else you want to write, right? But until we deal with these situations, right, we're always going to be stagnant, holding ourselves back. So yeah, I love that advice from all four of you. So we on to the next question, and I love this one. This is one of my favorites. So, short stories or poetry, one has to go. Which one stays? Rasafaya, you're up.
Short stories. Oh, and that's because I would beg for another outcome for something else. I would never give up short stories, but yeah, for poetry, yeah. That's
I
nice.
love it. I love it. I love it because short stories is my bread and butter, and I love when I get another person that loves short stories as much as I do. Um,
Short stories are everything.
so they are. They're everything. You can do so much with them. You can even write about a poet trying to become a spoken word artist. Come on now. Come on now. So the same question applies to you, Sean D. Short stories of poetry. One has to go. Which one stays?
It would have to be poetry for me.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, poetry is what speaks to the heart. And I love short stories because they get right to the point too. But poetry, I just have a love for poetry. It speaks to you in a different way. It hits different. Let's just say that.
Yeah, yeah, I get it. I get it. I get it. And I love hearing why people, why they chose the answer that they chose. I love that. I love that. Um, Says a lot about you. So, same question to you, Tequila Sway. Short stories, poetry. One has to go. Which one stays?
I mean, poetry is bae. Poetry has been bae since the very beginning. And when I say bae, for me, when I talk about poetry, it is best adventure ever. So poetry is definitely bae to me, and it stays. Although I love short stories and have read many of them, especially in college, I have to say that that has been my first love. Poetry has been my first love. So that's bae to me. It stays all day, every day.
Okay. Okay. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, same question, Veronica. Short story, poetry. One has to go. Which one stays?
Now, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy a good short story, but I have to go with poetry. Poetry is so many different things for me. Poetry is fluid. It it's like clay. You know, when you write a short story, most times there's a certain way that you need to do that you need to develop it. When it comes to poetry, it has so many different faces and so many, you can just make it what you want it to be. It's like clay. You can just put it in your hands and just mold it into whatever you need it to be in that particular moment. But in the next moment, it could look like something completely different. It just manifests itself as whatever you need in a particular moment, whatever emotion you need to identify with, whatever experience you need to work through, whatever pain you need to lessen. whatever it is, poetry has been those things for me and more. So I have to go with that.
Okay, that's powerful. I love the reasons. The why. The whys are always powerful. Why? Why? You know, very powerful. Very powerful. So we're off to the next question. And this is to you, Rasafaya. Who has influenced you most of all and from a writer's perspective?
Hmm. Um, well, okay. My initial influence was music, and so I mean, yeah, you know, as far as like from a I don't mean to be stumbling, but I've never really came at it from a writer's perspective. But yeah, I think of like Ice Cube as far as him like writing his screenplays. He's I'm sure there's others, but I was always influenced by Missy Elliott because um she just took her influence from whatever, however, whatever she thought, whatever it was, she would grab it and be like, okay, yeah, let's go with it. And I appreciated her bravery as a woman, as a plus size woman. She will always have that place in my heart, no matter other artists that have influenced me as well. And Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill's a page poet, you know. Lauryn Hill's got that vocab. She's got that Edgar Allan Poe kind of weight on her pen, Maya kind of pen, you know. Those
Yeah,
they were my influences, yeah. Hmm.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
That's something you said music, right?
Yeah.
Because music influenced me a lot too. In particular, the living legend, Rakim. I mean, he was ahead of his time and he still is. I didn't even know what the man was saying. I just knew he was saying something heavy. And I was gonna find out what it was someday. And when I found out, when my conscious level elevated to finding out what he was saying, it was about over. I was a writer then. I was hooked. Um, so the same question to you, Sean D. Who influenced you most of all and from a writer's perspective?
Um, I would have to say, um, from a writer's perspective, it would definitely be so many different writers. Oh my gosh. Um, in terms of poets, I guess it would be, it would definitely be Maya Angelou. It would definitely be uh, Lance, I forget his last name. Musically, it would be Jill Scott. It would be Prince. So just so many different people, and just listening to like people like Aretha Franklin, um, just amazing writers. And then when you sit down and you actually decode their music and listen to the lyrics and listen to the words, it kind of really walks you through life and
Absolutely.
it impresses upon you through a lot of things, moments in your life, and kind of sets the stage.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And you made mention of Aretha Franklin. Mm, third all-time favorite female singer. Love her. I mean, she can do no wrong with that microphone. Period. Period.
Period.
Period. So the same question to you, Tequila Sway.
So for me, because I am more than just a poet, I write plays and short stories, movie scripts. This question is really complex for me because it depends on the day, it depends on the genre, it depends on, you know, it depends. But if I had to say off the top of my head, um, if everybody knows me, you see my page, you would know that Nikki Giovanni is my favorite poetess. Love her, absolutely love her. Had the pleasure of meeting her. But I also like throwback poets like Ezra Pound, who writes to make you think and make you argue with his style of writing, and because he's so rebellious with his writing. And then you want to get to the plays. August Wilson is my favorite. You want to get to directors. Spike Lee is amazing. You want to get to music. Prince and Patti LaBelle are my favorite. Like, it just depends on what day you ask me. Then that's going to tell you who's my favorite that day. But for the most part, those are my top people who I tend to go to the most. Like, they're my top, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And I wanna say this real quick before I get to you, Veronica. Nikki Giovanni. You know, I had a whole lot of, I read over 300 books. And I came across Nikki Giovanni in those. I love that lady. That lady.
She's amazing. She's amazing.
Me in a major way. Because I had all this pent up frustration. And I was like, who is this lady? With these words, with the multi cocktails. And I mean, she was on some, I was like, who is this? Right? But yeah, Nikki Giovanni powerful. And that's a great honor to have met her. That's wow.
I've met her and got all my books signed, and I was a fangirl, and I made the whole line wait until she signed all of my books. I did not care.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a one. Hey, that's a dream. So yeah, I would have been waiting too, and would have been smiling all the time while they was waiting,
cheesing the whole time, and holding her award in my hand, and they was like, "Is she gonna take up all the time?" Yeah. Been waiting for this moment all my life.
Absolutely.
But yeah, absolutely. That's my dream.
So, Veronica, same question to you. Who has influenced you most of all from a writer's perspective?
Ooh, yeah, that's not a one-dimensional question for me either. I would have to say, as far as writers go, it would definitely be Maya Angelou. And I consider myself blessed that when I was in high school, that I had the opportunity to share some of the same breathing space with her. So that was a blessing in itself. So now I am a music head as well. Okay. So it was kind of funny when you mentioned Rakim, because that was a pivotal moment for me when I heard What's on Your Mind, when he did that, because it was the way that he weaved those words together. It was just symmetry. It was beautiful. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, I want to be able to mess with words like that, make them, make them make sense. I want to, it's sexy when you can take words and just intertwine them and make them say what you want them to say. And I just was in awe of him in that respect. But what, and that made me want to write. Maya Angelou made me want to be a poet. listening to Rakim, I didn't quite know what I wanted to do. I didn't know if it was just if I just wanted to just be a poet, if I wanted more, because I wasn't really familiar with the term spoken word at that point.
Yeah.
Another pivotal moment, because there were just four pivotal moments: meeting Maya Angelou, listening to Rakim, watching Poetic Justice
Mm,
when that movie came out.
mm,
But what made me want to be a performer was when I saw the movie Love Jones.
yeah.
When Lorenz Tate got up there on that stage and he did a blues for Nina. And
Mm,
it was just the atmosphere, and you had these people just sitting around, and it was smooth, it was like jazz, it was just laid back. You got this band behind you, you get up there and you just combine that music with your words. And when I saw that, I said, yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to be a performer. I want to get up on that stage. I want to have a band behind me. I want to see what that feels like.
yeah.
I want to be in a position where people are listening to me and my words are impacting them the same way his words were impacting the people in that crowd. So those are the four key points in my life that made me want to be first a writer, then a poet, a spoken word artist, and a performer.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. It's always stages. It's evolution. We start out one way and then we evolve into something we had no idea we were going to evolve into, right?
Exactly.
It's whoo, this writing, this literary world, it is so profound. I tell people that there is no other profession greater than a writer. Period. None. None. And if you think about it, writing is responsible for all the other professions. All of them. You need to read books to become a doctor, to become a police officer, to become a surgeon, to become anything. You need to read books, right? Take writing out of the equation. What about the signs that we need to know what exit to get off? We'll be traveling on freeway forever, getting off anywhere. This ain't the right. Yeah, it ain't. Yeah, you lost. Yeah, you lost. You need us writers to write these signs and symbols, right? You need them. So, greatest profession of all time, period. Um, so I'm on you, Rastafari, and it's good to see you.
Period.
It's good to see you. And I like that Billie Holiday flower. I love that. I love that. I love that Billie Holiday flower. So this question right here, Pop, a movie, a play, or a bestseller. Which one would you love your book to be most of all, and why? Rastafari.
I want my book to be a stage play because I was a stage manager for the Beauty and the Beast play. Before I moved out here, I had the chance to be hands on with that. There ain't nothing like it. Watching it come from scraps and nails and hammering the set and the crafts, the costumes, running across the stage, just the whole. I mean, I would love to see it on the screen, but to see it on a stage, and if I could just manifest one time in my hometown, that would just that would be epic. I would love to see that happen.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I can just see it, and you in the background, you responsible for it all being put together. You may not be in it, but you are responsible for it even being manifest.
Right. Right. I wrote it. Amen.
Wow.
That's amen.
So the same question to you, Sean D. A movie, a play, or a bestseller? Which one would you love to see your book become most of all, and why?
I would have to say I'm torn between a movie and a bestseller. Because I think the imagery kind of brings a book to life, right? Because like whenever I have read a book like Stephen King or any book that has been turned into a movie, and then you kind of like see it on the big screen, and you see those words just kind of pop off the page, and you connect all of the pieces and the dots, and it sort of just makes everything so much clearer. It makes it what you imagine in your mind, it kind of confirms what you imagine in your mind, right? And then it kind of resonates in your spirit, and it stays with you. When you read a good book and then you see the movie, and the movie is so on point, it lingers with you. It's something that you think about, and it could be something you think about for years on end. So it's never dying. The film is going to have longevity, and I just think it really brings it just levitates the words off the page.
Yeah, I agree with you on that lingering. It's so many movies that had that effect on me. I'll never forget them. So much so that I own them. I own them now. So I watch them frequently. So the same question to you, Tequila Sway: a movie, a play, or a bestseller? Which one would you like to see your book become, and why?
All of them.
Exactly.
All
Let's
of
go.
the above.
Exactly.
I'm just gonna say that. I'll be straight up. All of them. But if I gotta choose, if I'm forced to choose, right? As much as I love plays because I'm a playwright, I've seen my play come to life. I know some acting buddies, some actors. They helped me to see my play come to life. Just a play reading. That's always exciting to see a play live. You get audience reaction. You get the real deal from plays. So I'm in between plays and movies because movies are just out there. Like you can watch it anytime. It lasts forever. I have classic movies that I still watch to this day over and over again. So I would want my book to be watched as a movie rendition over and over and over again, and to be considered a classic. I would love that. You could watch plays as much as I love plays and I'm passionate about them. You could watch plays, but you have to literally go on stage and go perform them. The movie, you just pop it in. You could just now digitally, you can stream it. You know. So if I had to choose, I would want, I believe, my book to be a movie because of the longevity, and I'm all about legacy. So I would choose the movie if I had to choose one, but I really want to choose all of them.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's really a tough question, because it seemed like it's an order of things.
Right.
That's how it seemed like it's an order of things, right?
Yeah,
Bestseller,
it does.
movie,
I'll be bestseller, play, and then
bestseller,
movie for
play,
me.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Order of things, right? I did this purposely because I want to see how your minds operate, right? So we're on you, Veronica J. A movie, a play, or a bestseller. Which one would you love to see your book become most of all, and why? Why? That why? There go that why again. Why? Why? It's always that why.
Okay. If this had been 10 years ago, I would say bestseller. But now that we live in this technologically advanced environment, I would say movie, definitely, without a
Mhm.
doubt. Prime example of that is I remember reading, because I'm a bookworm, I like to read all different genres. I remember the first time I read The Color Purple from front to back. And the book itself was it was just powerful on so many different levels. But watching it, actually visualizing everything, and just the fact that they got the cast on point. I mean, Whoopi Goldberg, oh my God, she just brought Celie to life. And to be able to sit there and to watch it, and it just all the different scenes, and all it just made the book real. It when I'm reading anyway, it's kind of like, in my mind, when I'm reading a book, it's playing in my head like a movie anyway. So this way you get to actually see it after having read it. But I would definitely go with the movie for me, because I would want people to see. I would want it to linger in their minds long after they've left the movie theater. Um, Especially because my particular book deals with a lot of things that have gone on in my life. So, and not all those things were easy, but it's part of the journey. I mean, we all go through adversity, we go through harsh things, but it makes us who we are. And there's a message in that story about empowerment, and the fact that you can be what you want to be. You don't have to stay where you are. You can move forward. You can be a voice. You can be strong, and not have to be apologetic about it. And I would want people to go to that movie, because you never know what people need in a particular moment. There might be somebody that goes to the movie on a particular afternoon and is going through hell, and needed to see, okay, this person went through a lot too, but she got through it. So can I. And
But
it's different when you can just look at it. It's one thing when you see the words in the book, but when it's brought to life in a way that you can relate to, it sticks with you.
mhm,
So in that regard, I would definitely want it to be a movie.
absolutely. And I want to say this before I move to the next question. Short stories to me are like movies. They like mini movies to me. That's why I love short stories so much, because I can write a mini movie. All the characters, all the drama, all that, right? That's why short stories is my all-time favorite thing to write ever. Um, so moving on to the next question is to you, Rasafaya. Do you believe you discovered your purpose? If so, why? Look at that why again.
Yeah, yes. And why? Because everything else did not work, and everything else led me to this. And all the parts and pieces of me are poetry. They are, I wanted to be in the pulpit. I had that kind of message for people, but I didn't. I'm colorful, and I didn't want to give that up. And just the being a poet allows me to be all the aspects of me, all my passions to the fullest, to the front, unapologetic. When I walk in, I speak for the people. let's go. And that's it. And my face represents things. And if it doesn't align with my purpose, I don't touch it. I don't eat with it, because this is about the people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yes, it's I'm about to shout in here a little bit. I appreciate you asking me that.
Yeah.
Woo, because yes, that and
Yeah. Yeah. I
yeah.
love it. I love it. I love it. So I didn't ask that. I didn't ask that question in its entirety, but you did just fine, Russell Fire. So the question in its entirety: do you believe you discovered your purpose? If so, what do you believe it to be? Sean D. So, Russell Fire, you said poetry, writing. That's your purpose. So, Sean D.
So have I discovered my purpose? Yes and no. So I'm on the path. I have that trajectory. I know what my purpose is. Have I actually found everything about it? I don't think so. I'm still working that out. I'm a work in progress. However, comma, I have explored many things within myself within the last couple of years that has allowed me to see myself in a different light. It has allowed me to see how I can touch people all over the world, and how what I have to say means something to someone out there.
Yes.
And I think in discovering that and kind of honing that over the past 2 years, because like I've only been doing the spoken word thing 5 years. I've been a writer for a very long time, but you know, being able to speak that word to people and see how it can change lives, how it can affect souls. I think I'm on my way to discovering where I need to be in this world. And I, like Tequila, think a lot about legacy and what I'm going to leave on this earth when I'm gone. And that really means a whole lot to me. And so with everything I do, that's always in the back of my mind, you know, my footprint and letting people know that I am here, and how that's going to, live on, eternally. So that's my focus now, to just pretty much make sure that I'm on that track and to continue developing that and continue seeking, purpose and creativity and honing all those skills and just, reaching for, to make sure that um, it's right in my spirit.
Okay. That's beautiful. I love it. I love it. And before you said that footprint, I'm telling you, I was about to say your literary footprint. Before you said that footprint, that's what I was going to say when you got done. I was going to say your literary footprint. Um, yeah, because what we leave behind will represent us when we're gone, when we're physically gone from this plane of existence.
Yeah.
So Tequila Sway, same question. Do you believe you discovered your purpose? If so, what do you believe it to be?
I believe that all of our purpose is to help one another while we're here on this earth. and to leave something behind that will help the ones behind us. That is all of our purpose. So to me, it's plain and simple. Now, the vehicle in which you use that you want to use to help is up to you. For me, it just so happens to be writing, communication, and leadership. I always circle around those main things. When I circle back to my history and everything, it's always writing, it's always communication, it's always leadership, and it's always like it's just always the same pattern. If you go back into your life and look, you can see the dots and you can just connect them. Just connect the dots and it will tell you what vehicle you should be using to continue on with your purpose. You're already doing your purpose. You're helping each other. We're here to help each other. That's our sole purpose, guys, to help push humanity.
Absolutely. 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 And when you were saying that, Tequila Sway, I asked this question to a lot of people, obviously, over 300. No one has ever said it like you have said it. And how you said it is exactly how I think it.
Yeah.
Exactly how I think it, right? And exactly how I do it, right?
Yeah.
Exactly what you said, the same mindset, identical, twins.
Twins.
The mindset perspective.
Yeah.
That is it. We're all here to help one another.
Yeah.
Be our best, all of us. And if you think otherwise, then, well, that's your perspective.
Yeah.
So
it's true. It's true.
It is.
So whatever vehicle you use, whatever vehicle, for me, that's writing. For me, that's creativity. For me, that's communication because I'm also an ESL teacher. I talk to people around the world. It deals with words. It deals with language. It deals with leadership. And I'm okay. I'm accepting of my role and why I was here. So you just the vehicle in which you discover for your purpose. Come on, guys, all of our purpose is to be here to push humanity forward.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
all of our purpose. And I think some people
Yes,
don't really understand that.
Yes,
whatever role you play in that, whatever vehicle it is, that's what's going to help us push forward. And for those behind us to push forward. So yes, I believe that I have found my purpose. I know that. And it just depends on the vehicle that I use to push humanity forward. And that's what that is.
Yes, ma'am. I concur with you 1000%. So, Veronica J, same question to you. Do you believe you discovered your purpose? If so, what do you believe it to be?
Yeah, I actually do. And it feels really good to say that because for years I felt like I was walking around in a dark room looking for the you know how you have those old fashioned lamps that have the little ropes on them that you have to pull the light to turn it on. And that's what I felt like. Like for years I was walking around in a dark room looking for it so that I could pull it to turn the light on so that I could see. And I'm at a point where I finally managed to get that light on and I have clarity. So yes, I would say that I have found my purpose. My purpose is definitely through my poetry. And I would say that I am, I didn't think that this would be my calling, but from my perspective, I'm a barrier breaker. So I am here to demolish barriers and to show by example that they can be demolished. and then leave it wide open for other people to follow through.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It's all about leaving something behind. I like to say that's gonna, linger on the mind of humanity, or, excuse me, spiritual beings having a human experience. Leave on their mind that, we are here to help each other be our best. Because, like they say, no man is an island. No success, no great success will ever be obtained by one person, ever. It won't happen. You may be the initiator, but great success, this huge success where the world will never forget you, you got to have other people involved in it. You just have to.
Absolutely.
You can't do it yourself. You can't. So we're all here to help one another be our best, right? At whatever it is that we do. And leave behind something for the next generation so that they will have a blueprint to be their best, so on and so forth. So yeah. So we're on the next question, and it's to you, Rossafire. If you could take a peek into the future, what would you love to see most of all?
uh, hmm. I would love to see me press the seams to stretch my belief beyond my means, go for my dreams, go forward. I would love to see me, because I think of all these, or I want my son to have this, I want my friends to have this, I want this. If I play any part in them having that, I need to be able to step up to my plate to do that. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
what I want is for her to just blossom, just
Mm-hmm.
go, just be the best, be all of who she could be. No more excuses. Learn how to plan, learn to be organized, learn to let good in, to be good, to let good out, to just be all, yeah, to just really be the star, to just let me shine. Damn, that's what I want. And it'll bless
Mm-hmm.
everybody around me. Amen.
Wow, wow, wow. So, same question to you, Sean D. If you could peek into the future, what would you love to see most of all?
Hmm. I could peek into the future. What would I love to see? So I would love to see how I've changed the world in a way. Like if I could peek into the future and see that my book resonated on people's lives so much so that it made them think about things differently. It made them change something about themselves. It made them walk in a different light. And I could see the effect of that. That would be so great. Like to know that my words really, really, really made an impact.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know what it is, but our minds are clicking. Like they just clicking because that's what I would want to see. I would want to see if what I intend my words to do, which is well beyond the moment, if it happened.
If it happened,
If,
yeah.
if I influenced all the people that I want to influence, I want to influence the youth. I write for the youth. Everything I write is for the youth. It may not seem like it, but it is. And that I would love to see it because I believe the youth are going to change the world. They're going to be the ones that change the world, right? But we have to be the ones to provide the light for them to see how to do it, right? So I would want to see if my words actually made that a reality.
Made that a reality, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah.
So, same question to you, Tequila. If you could take a peek into the future, what would you love to see most of all?
This question is so complex for me. Um, it's so complex. It's something that it's one of the reasons why I am the focus queen, because I think about the future so much. Um, what I personally would like to see is us all coming together as human beings. Like, personally, if I have to be selfish, I would want to see us all coming together as human beings. I don't give a damn about your shade, your color, your religious background, your gender. I don't care about that. Can we just all get together and build the world to produce and make us live longer and plant seeds of love into the earth, create blueprints on how to live and progress forward. Um, and I would hope that my words and my work that I've put into the earth help to push that forward. I wouldn't want what I do to be in vain or just to be for fun. I take that much more serious than that.
Yeah.
Um, so whatever business, whatever connections I make and networking I make with other people, whatever I touch, whatever I do, it is in hopes to uh, make this world a better place. Like, I really like, for world peace, for camaraderie, for just to be. Can we just exist as human beings? Can we just be? Can we be energy? Can we vibrate like we're supposed to be and not make shit so complicated all the time? Like,
Yeah.
like, in my mind, I have this vision of how the world looks, and it don't look as complicated as we make it,
Right.
so
I,
unfortunately, we are a part of these historic constructs that we have to continuously break down. And
yeah.
I would hope that whatever I leave behind or that I'm doing currently and in the future will help to break down those historic constructs so that people can live more freely and build more, you know, including my family, including my son. I hope that whatever I pass along to my son, he uses to build a nation, to build something new that's gonna last forever,
Absolutely.
starting with himself and starting with his own family. So that's my hope for the future.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, so Veronica J, same question. If you could take a peek into the future, what would you love to see most of all?
Hmm. Most of all, I would love to see a spiritually and intellectually anointed world is what I would like to see. I want to see a world where people can rationalize and people can use the power of words instead of picking up guns and picking up knives and anything else, that people can talk and communicate their fears and their biases and come to an understanding on those things and learn to live together in peace and not seek to destroy each other over preconceived and I'll say pre-programmed uh, thoughts that parents and other people can put in your mind at an early age. I want to see a world where not another mother has to get that call that their child is laying out in the street somewhere. I mean, I want a world where we can get in the car and drive wherever, and we don't have to worry about getting pulled over on some BS. We don't have to worry about flinching and getting shot. That's the type of world that I would like to peek in on. And the only thing that would sweeten that and make it even better is to know that in some way my words, my actions had something to do with that. But that right there would definitely be what I would love to see, because with everything that is going on, the violence, the mayhem, the just everything, the hate, it's just painful. It's painful. So, and unnecessary. So to be in a situation where we could actually see our differences, talk that through, and live peacefully would be the ideal. Definitely.
Absolutely. So, this question, this is a powerful question, right? Now, you all answered the question, right? And I even gave a little something on it. Now, start writing what you want to see. Start writing what it is that you want to see, right? Start writing that and putting that out there in the atmosphere, right? And when you put it out there, right, and people see it, then somebody gonna take that to where they came from and they gonna share it with whoever, and they gonna direct it here and they gonna direct it there. See, we change the world, or we change the ways of this world one positive paragraph at a time. One positive paragraph at a time, right? And this social media outlet is so perfect for that, because everybody comes here. And everybody coming here looking for a reason, for whatever reason, right? To live, to write, to whatever, right? So we have the power to change the ways of this world, but it starts with how we actually write our words, right? Why are we writing, right? Why are we doing it? Are we doing it for attention? Are we doing it, to get applause and hearts and all that? Now, I'm doing it because I want to live in a world where I don't have to do like you said. Ducking, diving, trying to survive, going to the store to get something to eat, right? So I'm trying to write away all that. I'm trying to write it away. With everything I write, I'm trying to write it away. So due to time constraints, we're going to skip right down to this. Going to start with you, Rasafaya. Bless us with something that you have wrote.
No pressure.
They were boys who played with toys, boys who wanted to be leaders. that had dreams of being builders, boys who looked for a hero and could not find one, so they made one from fictional characters. Stoic, Black Panther, actors on a screen fulfilling the American dream, reciting lines from a scene that they compare to the desires of their hearts. Boys, boys with toys, boys who had big dreams. Tonka trucks, Hot Wheels, metal bars, cold steel, bloody toes, juice spills. Boys with dreams of living, giving to a society that robbed them, broke them intentionally, taught to tower through thunder, perpetuating premeditated plunder. Boys who are not aware they are preyed upon, a pact to feel broken, sourceless. Boys with rage, pack brown skin in an empty cage. 3-strike rule for the angry fool. Free boys to be caged men, living in the fair opposite of a dream, far beyond humanistic means, the lowest form of a human being. Beautiful boys in cages, wages piled high to the sky for the cost of your pride. Admit to it and get 8 years, deny and lose your life. Prison song, prison dreams, destined it seems. I mean, where are our heroes? I mean, where are our heroes? In jail, praying to a God in the sky for justice here on earth. They were boys who saw mama pray. And that is how they knew to stay safe. So they pray and pray and pray as they are preyed upon. This prison song. 70% of our families are not families. 7 men in one cell. 70 times 70 waiting for hope to prevail. Dreams of getting out of this hell. They were once boys with toys. Mama told them to stand up for who they are. Keep your pride, head held high, and if it's the truth, tell no lies. Never thought the truth would take my life. They were boys playing under a tree. Now, grown men begging to be free. That's prison song from my book, CPR to My Dreams. Thank you.
Sean D, the stage is yours.
This piece is called Box of Her. Memory, like the corners of my mind, misty water, colored memory of the way we were. Scattered pictures of the smiles we left behind, smiles we gave to one another, for the way we were. She lives high on top of the hill, a distant memory, locked in a box of her with no windows and no doors, memories like the corners of her mind. She's lost all sense of time. Still pictures litter the floor with timeless memories, forever timeless now. And drawers of sparkling jewels lie waiting to be worn like a silent auction. Except all of the bidders are gone, and every whatnot finds its way into a secret hiding place. And time stands still. And she looks at me, not like she's seen me before, but trying to remember all that she was. And who am I? What did I come here for? And now it's December again, and I watch her silently scanning through every memory that remains until she asks once more, darling, what is your name? I am your daughter, Shonda, I managed to say. Now just a shell of herself now, and only pieces of her left most days. She struggles to peek outside of the box every now and again. Maybe today will be the day. And her eyes burn like vibrant flames dancing in the night. And her beauty defies all logic as she drank from the fountain of life. And her laugh, her laugh lingered in the air like the smell of her best perfume. And she took my hand in hers, threw her head back as we danced to our favorite tune. She twirled like a ballerina inside of a precious jewelry box, around and around until the music stopped. Then, without a proper introduction, there the two shall meet and never even know why. Like a solar eclipse that shines like a rare diamond in the night, then the darkness does fall upon the box of her once more.
My God. Oh, I love that poem so much. I had to turn my camera on.
Wow. I love your voice too. I love your voice. So, Tequila Sway, the stage is yours.
No. I don't want to go after Miss Sean D. I do not. Refuse. My God. Jeez. I'm gonna do
My
it.
God. Hey.
I'm gonna do it. You still over there, first of all. Hold on. I was looking for my poem and I couldn't find it, and it's for a reason. So that means I gotta do a freestyle.
Yes, you gotta do a freestyle. Come on, yeah.
All right. Focus. You're doing it again. The thing in which you said you never repeat, never do again. Complaining, going on about things that doesn't make sense. You have been fighting against yourself for so long. When are you gonna get tired of it? When are you going to realize it's not just about you, it's about all of us? How are you going to contribute to the longevity of us? U.S.U.S period? No, the nation plus international. You're doing it again. Only thinking about yourself. Selfishly, you want to be the hero, the one who's in front of the camera. You want to be the one who's been seen. Not realizing that it's all of us in this race, this human race vibrating. Focus. Somewhere along the line, we've lost the message. Your purpose has a lot to do with other people, not just you. No, you want to be the one that's all about the glory and the light. But we can't push forward humanity on just your stripes. I wonder what the world would look like without strife. But then again, we need both good and bad because duality says it ain't the same without both.
Mm.
How can you come off as somebody who's Captain America, prideful, and expect to be about us? There are so many of us burning in deception, the holes we dig ourselves in, the misconceptions that we make life about. We are just molecules vibrating, doing, being our best. But we complicate shit when we try to add extra ingredients. Why can't we just be? That's what inspires others, our story and our struggles of being. But we think it's all about us individually. Collectively, though, we are supposed to focus on the mission. Yes. How do you contribute to this situation? Because it is a relationship. It's me and you. It's us and them. It's all of us, whether it's other countries or not. I don't know how we get to this point of separation, but can we just get back to oneness? Focus. In order for us to be, you must get your shit together. Stop thinking, overthinking that it's just about self. I know that's going to take some discipline, but we can do it. Let's continue to plant seeds of love into the earth until it flourishes and produces fruit that can nourish the next generations. It's that serious. Focus. Your purpose is to help all of us. And that's that piece.
Awesome. Awesome piece. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, Veronica, the stage is yours.
Okay. I'm gonna do a piece I haven't done in a while. It's a little bit on the political side, but um, it's not all about erotica. So I just wanna, with everything that's going on, I just feel it. I just feel it on my spirit. So. So this piece is called History Fact Check because I think sometimes we need that. Before I get too deep, let's get one thing straight. America has never been great. See, the very foundation of this country was built on hate and lies that intertwine to cover up the mistakes that a history of murder and chaos has left in its wake. They say Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492. Now, that one fact may indeed be true, but he did not discover America. I call bullshit. How can you discover what was already inhabited and call it your own? How do you force people off of their own property and out of their homes? See, America has a habit of taking things by force. Draping their crimes in patriotism and using propaganda to endorse a history that is flawed and full of memory loss, which has led to the present fucked up cause to keep America great. See, I personally cannot relate because the true history of my forefathers clearly states that they were stolen from their country and brought to southern estates, bound in shackles and chains, degraded and stripped of their true African names, and all for the sake of America's monetary gain. Are you seeing a pattern here? Because for me, it has become so very clear that this country thrives on hypocrisy. It's basically a dysfunctional dictatorship masquerading as a democracy, promoting equal rights while condoning inequality. Women, just as educated as their male counterparts, still tend to get lower pay. Companies can fire you for wearing your majestic natural hair, and in 2021, it's still a safety hazard to be gay. 2 steps forward, 10 steps back. Who do you really think is responsible for flooding Black neighborhoods with crap? See, history repeats itself in so many different ways. See, racist cops have now replaced the Klan in present day, getting gunned down in the streets instead of hanging from trees. And at one point, there was an idiot that was posted up in that big pale house that still wanted you to believe that
America was great at some point. Are you fucking kidding me? The degree of selective memory is frightening, and the majority is still walking around in a catatonic state, giving credence to an insidious spirit and its ministry to debilitate our souls, our minds, stealing our essence, manipulating time, stealing our fate until it's too late. No, there has never been a motherfucking point in time where America has ever been great. And that's that piece.
And what a powerful piece it was, a piece to end this epic moment with you four lovely ladies. Oh my goodness. You know, this is profound. All four of you have said something tonight or done something that I always think of. I always think about. I wrote a piece and it was entitled, "Can America Ever Be Great?"
It's too
But
much
there's
blood
no
in
such
the dirt for that.
It's coincidence, right? There's no such thing as coincidence, right? Our minds are aligned. All our minds are aligned, right? And when you have powerful minds like that on the same, I like to say, in the same book, in the same paragraph, in the same sentence, how can you not change the ways of this world? How can you not influence a multitude to be like, look, what the hell are we doing? What have we been doing? What in the hell do we need to start doing? Right? That is what it's all about. Hey, I love all four of you. And I'm so glad that y'all agreed to do this. I wish you all the best. Living life to the fullest has to offer, right?
Thank you. We
Y'all
wish the
always
same for you.
hey, look, y'all always got a place right here.
Definitely.
Y'all always got a place right here, right here,
Likewise.
right here for you. Now I'm a sensitive dude, and I ain't got no problem saying it. You know, I'll cry in a minute. I'll cry in a minute, and I do it boldly. I do it boldly, right?
I ain't trying to cry.
No,
I have to say that this was I selected and I brought the idea to Mr. Henry X because I thought he would just be the perfect person to blend with all four of our personalities and to be able to ask the questions that can really take us outside of our boxes.
Absolutely.
So that people see us in all the time. He could really get us to kind of step out of that and answer some hard questions, some tough questions. And I knew he was the man for it. And like, I was just, it's so awesome that, you know, when I asked him, he was just like, listen, I am like all for it. When we gonna set it up?
Absolutely. He gives like the best questions. So relatable, so understandable, just dope. Like, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, this was a no-brainer, right? Like I said, I've interviewed all four of you individually, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was no-brainer. It was a no-brainer to me to be like, yeah, of course. All four of you in one space at one time? I told Tequila I might be in the corner shivering and shaking. You know, all this all this energy, energy overload, right? I'm over here shaking. Like, what's going on? I don't overload it on all this energy, right? But
That's weird.
yeah, but this was awesome. This was awesome. It exceeded my greatest expectation, right?
Yeah.
And I had questions. I had other questions on my mind that I wanted to ask, but I really wanted to know the answer to those questions right there. Those particular questions, especially that future one, and what you would like to see if you could peek into the future. Those two right there, especially that last one, if you could peek into the future, what would you want to see, right? That tells me a lot about your mindset, right? Tells me a lot, right? Because if that's what you want to see, you can make it happen right now.
Yeah.
Right now, you can make that vision happen right now in the present, right?
Right.
Because we create our own future. We create those futures, right? So
Absolutely.
yeah. So again, thank you all for taking time. Because see, y'all could have said no. Yeah, man, I'm good on that, man. Nah. But y'all didn't. And that right there means a lot to me. You know, what we do with our time, it says a lot about us, right? What we invest our time in, right? That to me is saying that this means more to me at this particular moment than anything else. That's what that says to me, because y'all could have did anything else with this time, but y'all chose to come here and share it with me as one. And I'll never forget it, ever.
Aww. But
And
Henry, I know you're the interviewer, but I have a question.
and I may have an answer.
How do you see the future? How is your future in your view, from your perspective?
Mm. When I started writing, right? When I started writing creatively, I was writing, but see, I believe that a creative writer is one who can combine the right words to produce the desired result every time. Not once, not twice, every time. That's what I believe a creative writer is, right? So when I started writing creatively, right, it was always to change the ways of this world. I write to encourage, enlighten, and entertain. That's why I write.
Thanks.
So what I would want to see is if my words actually influence the youth of that time, right? Did it influence them to the point where they say, look, we are the solution to the problem. We always have been. We always have been, right? So I know that for what I desire to see, I know that I have to be a light. I have to be a light, a lantern, so to say, or so to speak, that's hanging and they see it. And they like, because it's dark there, they don't know. They get this lantern and now they see everything. They see everything that they have to do to make this a reality. So that's what I would hope to see. That it actually worked. That my words actually did what I want them to do, right? That's what I would hope.
Yeah.
And I want to say this to you about that question about the movie, play, or bestseller. My second book, that's the urban legend. It was written to be a movie. That's why I wrote it to be a movie. That's exactly why I wrote it. That's why when I used to promote it, I used to say the book that was written to be a movie. That's how I used to promote that book. So I would most definitely love to see that book turned into a movie, because it's so much in it. It's so much in it. It's so much just things to have you be like, we can actually do that. And if you see it being played out on the big screen, people will walk out of there with the mindset like, I'm about to make that happen. What they did, I'm about to do that. I'm about to do that. And that's what I want my words to do. I wanted to influence people to do things. You can do it. There's nothing you can't do. You can do anything you want.
So true.
Limitless. Limitless.
Yeah, only thing is we sometimes limit ourselves. That's the problem.
Yes.
We have to stop doing that.
Yes.
We do.
I have a question for you, Henry.
Okay.
So is this really going to be your last interview?
Good question.
Now, I was thinking about reinventing Positive Place, right? It was going to be a whole nother thing. Interviews were the centerpiece of Positive Place. They weren't going to be the centerpiece. They weren't going to be off the table, but they were no longer going to be the centerpiece. Then I thought about it, right? I thought about like all the greats, you know, like the basketball players that, you know, they could have kept playing, but, you know, they could have injured themselves. They could have had a bowl season, and it would have just, people would have remembered them for that, right? Like, man, look, bro. Yeah, but what about all that? Nah, man, I'm looking at this. This is terrible. Look at it. So I was like, no, I'm going to go on top of this thing. Positive Place served its purpose, right? Positive Place, I interviewed over 300 people. I let over 300 people's voice be heard. So many connections I didn't even know nothing about until people actually told me, right? So many books were created because of Positive Place. So many books were sold because of Positive Place and how the authors were promoting themselves, so on and so forth. So, to answer your question, yes, interviewing is, you know, I loved it. It was a great experience. It was something I never did, and it was a great experience. But every moment has its time. That time had its moment. Now it's time for me to move on to something else, right? And I got so many projects. I mean, it's ridiculous. I don't even think I'm gonna be able to do them all in this lifetime. So, but I'm sure gonna give it my best effort, right? My best effort. And everything I do, and it's involving others, it's always gonna be your voice matters. I always want people's voice to be heard, And I'm gonna encourage them to speak any and everywhere I am, right? Your voice matters. Don't you never let nobody convince you otherwise. So, yeah.
Love it.
Well, I can't wait to see what you have in store. I know you got a lot coming through the pipeline, but I'm glad that you chose us to be your epic interview. It was definitely epic. I think the thing that I liked so much, and I'll start this off, and I'll just like the ladies to also chime in. Their favorite part about this event tonight, and I think mine was that having everybody up on the same screen tonight and being able to listen to each other's responses, it just really just shows how much we are so much aligned. So many of our questions were just so on point and so similar, you know, that we are of like mind, and that we are centered truly as a sisterhood. So I want everyone to just take away that you know, come next year, we have so many things that we are planning for the new year. Our evolvement of this sisterhood, the Grapevinesway, is going to take us into to so many different avenues, and I'm just excited. I'm excited that we get to share it all together, and excited just to, you know, for us to be able to have this moment that we can all share together.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. So, VJ Khan.
I just appreciate
Con, what happened?
Again, I appreciate that people appreciate our sisterhood. It just oozes through everything we do. And so much of who I am sitting here today has a lot to do with these women. The talks that we've had, the encouragement, the log the hell off and finish writing your book, just so much. VJ, you were you were elemental in my sexual liberation. And I say that every chance I get to you because you really were, man. Because I identify with your reservedness as well. And then to see you but this is who I am. It encouraged me. Sean, golly, man, you have held me on so many times, so many low places, just been a place of encouragement. And Sway, babe, I would never take away your, because we need that sometimes. I do. I appreciate your personality and how you operate. I appreciate it so much. So, Henry, I just and everybody in here, thank y'all for just coming to spend this moment with us. Sisterhood is not something that's just a big thing nowadays, you know what I mean? And it's a part of our brand. It's such a big deal. Our sensual sisterhood, what we do. So thank you for just wanting to come and house us and shine a light on us. I appreciate you so much. And for that little tear at the end, I take that and put it in my little cup. Keep it with me tonight. I appreciate tears, damn it, especially masculine divine tears. We appreciate them tears.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, we love you, Con.
VJ.
VJ, do you have anything to say?
Yes, I do. Well, first of all, Henry, I just want to say thank you for having us on. Thank you for interviewing me way back when you did. I mean, just to be acknowledged and seen it's just a gift beyond measure. So thank you so much for that. I thank everybody that came through tonight to hang with us and to just fellowship with us and see what we're about. Appreciate you guys each and every day. As I always say, this poetry community is dope on so many different levels. It's just open and accepting and loving, and I just appreciate all of it. And as far as us, our sisterhood goes, it's just something special. It really is. I do believe that we all came together for a reason. Life puts people in your life for a specific reason because they have something that you need, and in turn you might have something that they need, and you just help each other in those respects. I myself, I am more so the quiet one of the group, and
she quiet but she loud.
But at the same time, yeah, I mean, but you all are instrumental in that though, because I can sometimes just sit back and just brood and just not say much, but I can't do that with y'all. Like it just comes out. Like I just want to share. Y'all got me telling stuff I don't tell and sharing stuff I don't share and being vulnerable and all of that, and that's been a journey for me to allow myself to be open like that. But just the simple fact that I feel compelled to share those things and feel comfortable in doing that goes to say so much. So I appreciate you guys for everything that you do, all the different personalities that come together and just bond. I mean, we like like Voltron up in here. Like we just come together, all different pieces, and we just form that lion. You know, I'm showing my age, but hey, you know, not one of those pieces. They couldn't be Voltron without each other. So if one lion was missing, you don't have Voltron. So
nope.
Absolutely.
You know, and those lions were powerful. I use that analogy. Those lions were powerful individually, but when they came together and they formed Voltron, there was no stopping Voltron. So that's how I see us.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. My God. Where we at? My God.
I know, right? Where is he?
No, I just want to say that I appreciate all of you because this is a vision. I always like to say it's not just my vision because it was given to me, and I don't even know how far it's gonna go, right? But the fact that y'all all are here with me in the present is all that matters because yesterday is already gone. Tomorrow's not here yet. So all I have is right now and this present and the fact that y'all are here with me is so special because y'all don't have to be. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be. So the fact that we have Henery here, Mr. Henery here, hitting us with the questions left and right, making you think, getting that Abdullah Abnagada together. I know I said that wrong on purpose, but getting that, cerebral cortex together, making y'all think. I just love every part of that because I'm a cerebral person. And then just to have my ladies on the vine, just like here collectively with us, with me, just says a lot because sisterhood is not talked about often, especially Black women, so it's really important that we project that. Doesn't mean that it's perfect, but it means that we love each other, we love each other. And so we're taking a part of this experience of life in the moment to build on it in the future and to hopefully create something that the generations after us can use to build something. That's the whole purpose of it. And we're using the Grapevine as a vehicle, so thank y'all for the support. Thank you for coming through to show the love. Thank you for every comment, share, every live you show up on, every interview that you do, like Henery. This is our very first interview all together. So this is epic. This is an epic moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, no one's ever interviewed us except Henery all together. So I just want to say I love all of y'all and thank y'all for y'all support. I appreciate everything that you do from the bottom of my big heart, my chesticle area. Okay. Now, handing it over back to Henery.
Well, that was phenomenal. That was phenomenal coming from all of you. And I didn't know that y'all hadn't all been interviewed at the same time. I didn't know that.
Nope.
First time.
You popped our grape.
I named this just right. The epic interview, right? It's epic for so many reasons. That's one of them. I didn't know that y'all hadn't all been interviewed at the same time. That's one of them. The other one is this is gonna be the last interview. What a way to end the interviewing process of the journey than with a first. A first, right? Look at that. A first and a last.
Yeah.
Ain't that powerful?
Yes, it
That's
is.
powerful. It's so fun when you think about it, right? A first and a last, right?
What a way to do it. Huge.
So,
new beginnings. I mean, the fact that this is, the end of the year and we have so many things planned, you in your pipeline and hours, just new beginnings of things that will come to fruition. And I'm just, this is just a perfect, like you said, the perfect way to kind of bring it all together.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And I want to share with you, ladies. I have a goal. I had a goal in early. I said I was going to write 10 books in 10 years, right?
Mm.
It seemed like, wow, come on now. I always put myself, and I said it aloud, right? So when I said it aloud, I got to hold myself accountable for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So on that journey, I have already 4 of those 10 books done. I'm formatting the 5th book right now.
Mm-hmm.
I have 4 chapters of 6 done on that 5th book, right? So I'm ahead of schedule, right? The 5th book supposed to come out next year. I'll be finished with that book before next year comes, right?
Mm.
So I can, just lay back I can lay back for 3-4 months for the 7th book, So I said that to say this. I set lofty goals for myself, right?
Yeah.
And I accomplish them, right? Because I know the things that I have to do it. I have to get out of my own way to make my dreams a reality, right? Because no one else is in my way.
Amen.
Even if they are, right? I can walk right around you.
Yes.
I'm not gonna go through you and through your mess. I'm gonna say, how you doing? See ya, and go right around you, right? And go right around you and say, watch me work, baby. Watch me work.
Yeah.
Because that's what I do. I work, right? And I inspire other people to work as well. And let's work together. Let's build these modern day pyramids together.
That's
Modern
it.
day
That's it.
pyramids.
That part.
And leave them so that our children can look up and be like, my mommy and daddy had something to do with that, Dad.
Absolutely.
How you know? Because they left me some clues and some hints and some innuendos, right? That's what they left me. And I believe they weren't liars. So they had something to do with that pyramid right there, right?
Exactly.
So come on, let's continue to inspire one another to be our best, right?
Absolutely.
Let's continue to inspire one another to do that. I love you, ladies. And I got to get out of here because I got caregiver duties, unofficial caregiver duties to perform. Unofficial, right? It's not official, it's under the table work, right? But I love it. I love it.
Well, we appreciate you. You're on what's that thing? What's the app called? Let them know
Clubhouse?
So we can come support.
Clubhouse?
Clubhouse. Thank you. I couldn't think of it. Clubhouse.
Writer's Way. It's quickly growing. I mean, just like Positive Place, it was a thought that I decided to act on, and now it's almost 500 people. That's
oh my God, Henery.
Right.
It was only like 6 people. Oh my gosh.
Right. It's almost 500. It's not there yet, but it's 440 or something like that.
Wow.
And as you all know, or you don't probably know, we started writing an anthology in that very club. We started writing an anthology. We into the 5th chapter of 9 in that anthology, right? And all of you are welcome to be a part of that anthology. You don't have to do the whole thing, whatever you feel comfortable with, you can do it. And what you don't, right? So that's the invitation that I'm extending to you. Deadline has ended for those past chapters, but look, I'm the one formatting this manuscript. I'm formatting this, right? So what I say from the formatting perspective, go, if you want to be a part, get in there. It's only too late when it's published.
Right.
What is it? What is
it? Too late.
I will be in that one.
Yeah. If you're on Clubhouse, look us up, Writer's Way, because look, that's your place too. That's your club too. That's your club too. Your voice matters. And it really matters on there because that's all it is a voice. Can't see nobody, you know? So you can come on there, come as you are, because we can't see you. Come as you are.
Come as
Like,
you are.
Just bring your voice. Just
Be
bring your
naked.
voice.
Be naked. We can't see you.
Be naked.
Be naked.
As
Be naked.
Sean says, be naked.
Be
Dang
naked.
We can't see you. We can't see you. So I'm about to get out of here, ladies.
All
Y'all
right.
have a
We
wonderful
appreciate you. Thank you so
All right.
much. Thank you so much for your time here tonight. Ladies, thank you so much for your time here tonight. Thank you, everybody who jumped in, who joined. This is also going to be available on YouTube. I was streaming it live to YouTube as well. So you will be able to go back and catch the replay either on YouTube or I'm going to also send out the Zoom.
Yeah.
So thank you so
YouTube,
much.
Thegrapevinesway. Sway.
Yeah, Grapevinesway. You will be able to see it. Thank you so much. Great things happening. Stay tuned, stay plugged in, turn on your notifications so you can know what is happening. All right. Love and light to everybody. Stay present, stay powerful, stay perfectly you.
And stay focused.
Stay focused.
Stay focused.
Stay focused. You're doing it
Stay
again.
focused.
Stay focused. I was just going to say that. Thank you, Henry.
And stay touching tongues.
Yes. Yes, that.
Oh, Lord.
Yes.
Stay touching tongues. I don't know how focused y'all going to be, but yeah, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good night, y'all. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Thank you so much.
Love y'all.
Love
Peace.
you.
Love you guys.